In June 2025, nearly the entire nation of Iran vanished from the global internet. Phones went silent. Websites stopped loading. Social platforms collapsed. For millions, it was as if the digital world simply ceased to exist. Was it a technical failure? A cyber attack? Or something else entirely? This is the story of how and why Iran disconnected from the world. Welcome to Cold Frame. June 15, 2025. It started gradually, slow loading times, then errors. Within minutes, over 97% of Iran's internet access had dropped, a sudden collapse tracked in real time by Cloudflare Radar and NetBlocks. At 8:42 p.m. local time, the country's connectivity graph flatlined. The cause? Not a storm, not a technical fault, but what analysts described as a state-mandated blackout. One of the most extreme digital shutdowns in recent memory. For the average Iranian, that meant no social media, no messaging apps, no foreign news, no cloud services. Even domestic services, government websites, banks, ride-hailing apps were throttled or cut off. It wasn't just a blackout. It was a lockdown of information. At the time, Iran was in a heightened state of tension with Israel. Drone strikes, cyber skirmishes, and regional proxy clashes had brought both nations to the edge of open conflict. Just days before the blackout, unverified reports emerged of cyber attacks targeting Iranian infrastructure, including oil fields and government servers. Iranian state media remained silent. Foreign press censored. Then, suddenly, the internet went dark. Cybersecurity analysts believe the blackout wasn't a reaction, it was a preemptive strike by the Iranian government itself. A digital curtain pulled down to block foreign interference, control internal dissent, prevent the spread of protest or panic. And history supports this. Iran has previously cut internet access during moments of crisis, including in 2019, 2022, and again in early 2023. But never like this. Never this total. Never this coordinated. Iran's internet architecture is unique. Most traffic flows through a centralized structure, with state-affiliated ISPs like TCI and Mobile Communications Company of Iran under direct government control. This gives the authorities a powerful tool, the ability to shut off access at the source. During the 2025 blackout, this system was weaponized. Cloudflare's internet disruption report showed a near-total collapse in HTTPS traffic nationwide. Only select government whitelist IPs remained active, mostly for internal communications and security agencies. Satellite ISPs, VPNs, and Tor relays also showed signs of interference or blocking, meaning escape routes were being targeted too. This was more than a blackout. It was a coordinated isolation. Cutting off the internet doesn't just silence voices. It paralyzes a country. Online businesses in Tehran reported devastating losses. Startups saw revenue vanish overnight. Digital freelancers were cut off from foreign clients. Online banking, booking systems, even emergency services were disrupted. In rural areas, the blackout meant total digital darkness. No news. No way to communicate with family abroad. No warnings of incoming strikes. Only silence. On social media, #KeepIranConnected began trending globally as journalists and activists raised alarms. But inside Iran, no one could see it. One Iranian IT worker, quoted anonymously in a TechCrunch article, said, "We don't know what's happening in our own city, let alone the country. It's like being trapped in a sealed room while the world burns outside." To outside observers, this looked like digital authoritarianism in action, an extreme attempt to seize control of public perception in a time of conflict. But to the Iranian regime, it was a form of defense. In modern war, information is a weapon. Videos of protests, drone strike leaks, or foreign propaganda can spread in seconds and provoke chaos. By shutting the door to the internet, Iran ensured its own version of reality was the only one available, at least inside the country. Yet, even that control came at a price. International trust in Iran's connectivity plummeted. Foreign businesses paused investment. And the people, the real victims, were left voiceless. Human rights organizations like Access Now, Amnesty International, and Reporters Without Borders condemned the blackout. NetBlocks called it one of the most extreme examples of digital repression seen in the modern age. Meanwhile, tech companies remained mostly silent. Many had already pulled out of Iran due to sanctions, but their absence meant users had no support, no transparency, and no access to tools to circumvent the block. Only a few rogue satellite providers, Starlink among them, reportedly tried to provide limited access in border regions, though confirmation remains scarce. The message to the world was clear. This can happen anywhere. If a nation can flick off the internet like a light switch, what's stopping others from following suit? In the end, Iran's blackout lifted after several days. But the silence it left behind still echoes. What happened in June 2025 wasn't just an outage. It was a demonstration of control. Of how fragile our connections really are. Of how quickly truth can be silenced. And of how power, real power, can now be wielded not with bombs or bullets, but with a single invisible switch. You've been watching Cold Frame. Subscribe for more mysteries that blur the line between control, technology, and truth.